What's going on, YouTube? I'm back with another story time video. The story I got today, it's a little crazy, it's a little funny, more on the crazy side though. I want to cover a video like this for a long time, so I'm gonna jump straight into it. It's crazy because I remember this story so specifically. I'm 18 years old and it's a Friday night. I'm hanging out with 3 of my friends, so it's 4 of us in total. And we're at one of my buddy's apartment. At my buddy's apartment, he turned one of the bedrooms into a studio. So usually when we go over there, we're just freestyling, listening to music, making beats, whatever the case may be. So it's about 10 o'clock, 10:30, and we all get tired of freestyling. We done played every type beat that's on YouTube. We done made so many songs. So we're starting to look for something else to do. So after a while, we stop listening to music and everybody just gets on their phone, start doom scrolling, getting on Facebook, whatever the case may be, right? And about 2 minutes go by, and one of my homeboys say, "Hey, Omar is selling some shrooms. Y'all want to buy some?" So the way that he says this, I know he's being serious, but the context behind it, I can only assume that he's being sarcastic because Omar is a fucking crackhead. No one hangs out with Omar, right? We all know Omar for doing drugs and getting into trouble. Now keep in mind, we're only 18 at this time, so anybody that's getting in trouble and doing drugs like that, their life is already fucked up, you know? Somehow, some way, I just knew he wasn't being sarcastic. I just knew he was being serious about it, right? Keep in mind, none of us have experience with this shit before. That's partially the reason why I thought he just pulled this shit out of his ass, because we've never done this before. It's really never even came in conversation with the homies before. He just kind of said this shit and we went along with it. So we're sitting there discussing it. We're talking about how much money we got to get, who's going to drive, where are we going to go, what are we going to do, all this little bullshit, right? All these little details about what we're going to do about it. One of my homeboys speak up. We're going to call him Al Bean. Al Bean's like, "Fuck it, I'll drive. I always wanted to try him anyways," right? So he hits the plug up and we're going to get 7 grams worth of shrooms, because originally we was only going to get 3.5 grams, but there's 4 of us and each one of us wouldn't even get a full gram of it. So we go ahead and get the 7 grams. So he hits up the plug. And I remember us waiting like 15-20 minutes for a reply anyways. And as we're sitting there waiting for a reply, I'm getting more and more hesitant about it, you know. But that's not the mindset that you want to have while you're doing a hallucinant like this. So I'm trying to stay calm. I don't really know too much what to look forward to. I'm just kind of sitting there just going with the flow, waiting on him to text us back about a meetup spot where we can go to, right? So about 20 minutes go by and he finally texts the homie back about a spot that we can meet up with and a price. So we all get in the car and we meet him at this spot. He wanted to meet us at a Walmart Supercenter, so we all get in the car and we drive that way. This meetup spot is only 10 minutes away from the homie's apartment. So we ended up beating him there, and we're waiting in the parking lot sitting there talking about what to expect, what we're about to do. We're just going over what we're about to do basically. So all of us put our money together and give it to the homie that's about to get out and go talk to Omar. It don't take but like 5 seconds for us to get it and to get back in the car, right? All of us know that it takes a while for the shrooms to kick in. So whenever we get it, we all like analyzing it, smelling it and shit. I remember the shit smelled just like some cow manure. If you've ever smelt shrooms, it has a distinguished like smell to it. You can't confuse the smell for nothing else. You know exactly what it is whenever you smell it. And the smell smells fucking god awful, you feel me? And you're probably sitting up thinking like, okay, maybe you ate it with a sandwich, maybe you ate it with some strawberries, a peach, a fucking turkey leg, something, right? Hell no, we ended up eating that shit raw, straight out of our hands. No sandwich, no bread, no drink. We just ate it exactly how it came. So there's 4 of us and the homie ended up scaling it out, so we all ate about a gram and a half, right? We all got a decent amount because we got 7 grams with 4 of us. So as soon as he left, we just started eating that shit down, and about 10 minutes go by. We sitting up talking about the taste, what to expect, but we don't know that it takes a little bit longer than 10 minutes. So we sitting up saying like, okay, we'll call him again. We're gonna put some more money together because I don't feel this shit. And that's where we fucked up at. So we call him and he's on the way back with another 7, right? 10 minutes go by, so at this point it's been 20 minutes. As soon as he pulls up, we get the money right, we start scaling it out and scarf that shit down. So at this point I'm at 3 grams total because I had 1.5 and then another 1.5, right? And if you've ever taken shrooms before, you know 3 grams is more than enough. You do not need no 3 grams to feel this shit, especially on your first time doing them, right? So we scarf down this other 1.5 grams, and that's when we start driving back to the homie's apartment. And we're sitting up driving and the homie is driving and he's like, "Yeah, I don't feel this shit." I'm like, "I don't feel it neither." So like I said, we're 10 minutes away. So what, 30 minutes go by, right? So this is when the shit start kicking in. But none of us know that this is when they start kicking in for real. So I tell the homie that's driving, I'm like, "Yo, Al Bean, maybe you shouldn't be driving after you just took some shrooms. And as soon as I said that shit, all my homies can vouch for me. As soon as I said that shit, it was like a smack in the face. That's when it started kicking all of us, right? It started kicking in for everybody. So I'm in the back seat looking out the window, and I started looking down at the floorboard like, oh shit, here we go. And main thing I remember is seeing like casino shit, right? So my brain is on casino mode. I'm over there seeing roulette wheels, checkerboards, just different types of patterns and shit, right? Shout out to the homie Albean, because I don't know how he was able to drive back to the apartment after seeing that shit, especially it being his first time. I don't know what was going on in his brain, but in my brain I was just seeing patterns and different types of spirals and shit, right? So we get back to the homie's house and all of us is just cracking the fuck up, right? We all in that bitch laughing, making jokes. It was a good time for the first hour that we was there, right? So we're inside the apartment and all the lights are off. We just sitting in there having a good time, sitting up making jokes and shit, but we got the front door open. One of the homies go outside to take a phone call, right? And when he walks back in through the front door, we just see an outline of him. He's a big guy. He's a big old black dude. So we just see his silhouette of him coming in through the front door. So this is a key part in the story, right? And this takes place at the same time that the Grimace Shake from McDonald's has just came out, right? So when he gets done with his phone call, we just see this big black figure walking through the door frame, and it scares the shit out of one of the homies. And he just starts laughing his ass off. And we're like, what's so funny? Like, what's so funny? What's so funny? I remember this being the highlight of the trip. When he gets done laughing, he says, bro, I thought you was the Grimace Shake dude from McDonald's, right? And at the time, that shit was hilarious. We still make jokes about that joke to this day. We still sit up and laugh about it to this day. And that's been years ago, right? So after hours of laughing and joking with the homie, I start saying like, bro, I'm fucking high. Like, there's no way I'm this high, right? So I start getting a little scared, and some of the other homies start getting a little scared too. Like, we all start like getting a little paranoid because of how high we are, right? And this is a crazy coincidence because as soon as the clock hits 12 o'clock, my homeboy forgot to pay his electric bill. So all the lights in the apartment go off anyways. We was already sitting in the dark, but all the lights in the apartment end up going off. So this scares the shit out of all of us. We do not want to be there no more. We tripping balls in his apartment. One by one, we end up leaving his apartment. And I'm the last one to leave besides him because it's his apartment. And he starts saying like, bro, can I just go home with you? And I'm like, hell no. My mama do not know how high I am right now. So if I come home with somebody else, I'm going to get in trouble, right? But I felt so bad about leaving him because as high as he is and as high as I am, I could just imagine being stuck in a dark apartment with no electricity. He ended up calling an Uber ride over to his mama's house and going over there. And somehow, some way, I ended up managing to drive myself home. As I get home, everybody in the house is asleep already, so I'm not too worried about being loud or making noises or anything. I'm just sitting there trying to enjoy myself so I don't end up having a bad trip. So I get to the room, I start laying down, I put on that TV, and what comes on the TV? How to Train Your Dragon. So I'm sitting there watching How to Train Your Dragon high as hell. I'm over there mesmerized by the sky, the scales on the dragon. I'm over here noticing details in the movie that I've never noticed before. Keep in mind, I've watched How to Train Your Dragon like 4 different times besides this one. So it's something I don't want to watch, but my brain is just so attracted to it, so intrigued by it. I didn't have no productive thoughts the whole time that I'm sitting at home, but I am having a lot of entertainment watching this movie. I'm sure I thought of a bunch of different scenarios in my head, but none of that shit mattered. None of that shit was productive. It was all just entertainment going on in my brain, and I'm sitting there fried watching this dude fly on a dragon through the sky. Now, it was a good time, but I remember waking up with the fattest headache. I don't know if that's normal or if that was something that was supposed to happen, something I ate, something I didn't eat, but that shit had me bugging in the morning. So moral of the story is, if you ever with a group of your friends at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, don't do shrooms unless you got a good place to go to that the electricity is going to get cut off, because that's what ruined the whole trip. If that shit never happened, we would have had a good night, but it ended up cutting the night short. So it wasn't a bad trip, but it definitely got cut short because that electricity. It could have been a whole bunch better, but it wasn't, I guess. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to get to you guys in the next video. Peace.